XFM News on point.
Quick look at the news. The Speaker of Parliament, Rebecca Litwala Kadaga, has asked legislators to follow the COVID-19 standard operating procedures during this electoral process and period. Kadaga, while opening Parliament's plenary session today morning, congratulated members of Parliament who were nominated to participate in the upcoming general elections in 2021. She, however, asked them to observe the Ministry of Health guidelines to control the spread of COVID-19.
I know it is a hectic period for us as leaders, but I still urge you to carry out your responsibilities with dignity and the honor expected to you. But also, both here and in your constituencies, we advise that you continue to observe the standard operating procedures relating to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Kadaga, in the same way, congratulated Team Uganda that participated in the World Half Marathon Athletics Championships, especially Jacob Kiplimo, who won the gold medal for raising the country's flag.
We are extremely proud of these young people. Indeed, this year, the Ethiopian and Kenyan athletics champions, who had dominated the athletics scene in the whole world, were finally outmatched by the young people from the highlands of Elgon. So congratulations again.
The Ministry of Education has distributed face masks to 74 districts to be worn by students and pupils in candidate classes. Last week, schools opened for candidate classes and were tasked to follow the Ministry of Health guidelines to control the spread of COVID-19. The Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Education, Alex Kakoza, says they are still inspecting schools to ensure they follow the COVID-19 standard operating procedures to protect teachers and learners from the pandemic. The Ministry of Internal Affairs has closed its offices at the headquarters for 2 days. According to a press statement from the ministry, offices outside the headquarters will remain operational. The main offices will be closed today and Wednesday. This is due to some administrative procedures which will take place on these 2 days and will significantly affect service delivery, according to a statement signed by Jacob Siminyu, the ministry spokesperson. No more operations at the ministry headquarters will resume Thursday, October the 22nd. Siminyu said services to be affected include issuance of passports, work permits and citizenship, among others. Police is holding a suspect who was intercepted riding the suspected stolen motorcycle during curfew hours. The suspect, Joel Ziwa, and another who's on the run were intercepted at Natete by local defense unit personnel. The Army 1st Division spokesperson, Major Bilal Katamba, confirmed that they handed over the suspects to police for further investigation and prosecution.
Unfortunately, Herbert ran away. However, we had got all the details about him. The investigations are continuing. If there's anybody who lost those two motorcycles that just mentioned, they can go to Natete police station for proper identification. I also urge the motorcyclists, especially border riders, to desist from riding beyond the curfew time so that we are able to identify the criminals amongst them, those who masquerade as border cyclists, yet they are criminals.
In other news this afternoon, the Tanzanian Electoral Commission has said voters with missing identity cards will be allowed to use driving licenses and passports to vote in the next week's general elections. The Commission said the names of those voting using such documents should tally with their details in the voters' register, according to a statement on Twitter. President John Pombe Magufuli, who is seeking re-election, is facing competition from opposition candidate Tundu Lissu. The U.S. had last month expressed concern over increased tension ahead of the general election. The concerns came days after 10 foreign missions in Tanzania jointly called for a free and fair election. There have been concerns by rights groups about increased repression of opposition parties and non-governmental organizations. That was the news.
XFM News on point.